Right, we live, yo. Let me go hit the let me go hit the YouTube. Give me a second, y'all. Let me go hit the YouTube real quick. Give me a second here, yo. Let me go. Let me let the people over at YouTube know we Facebook know we ready. Let me go hit the Facebook real quick. All right. All right. Hold on, yo. Hold on. Let me put this over there. Let me post this up in there. How's everybody doing tonight? All right, we good. We live over there. All right. Cool. This here. Light on this here. Let's fix the top shots, yo. All right. How's everybody doing tonight? Thanks for joining the stream. Don't forget, as soon as you enter the room, if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up for us. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I'm going light tonight. I'm drinking iced coffee tonight, yo. We going light. We got Diamond in the building. Diamond, thank you for joining the stream tonight. How are you doing over there? I hope you got something to drink as well. If you are, drop it in the chat. Let me know what you're drinking tonight. If it's water, if it's juice, if it's wine, if it's a shot of tequila, whatever you're drinking over there, let us know what you're sipping on tonight. Thanks everybody for joining the stream. I'm doing great. Can't complain. We got a nice little docket ahead of us tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking. We're going to kind of have a continuation from last week's live. Last week's live we were talking about Fat Joe not attending Big Pun's Plaza opening, and Fat Joe said some things where he didn't want to be around those people. So we're going to kind of continue with that today. As you can see, the title: Did Big Pun's wife cheat? So there's some news that came out just a few days ago about that. We're going to go through that today. Upcoming verses on the 20th of this month, 420. It is the verses between Redman and Method Man. So we're going to go over that. Let me know who you guys think is going to win that verses. As always, drop it in the comments down below. We're going to talk about the amazing verses just this past week with Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers. So we're also going to tackle that. And we're also going to touch a little bit on the DMX situation. Anyone that's a DMX fan, you're a hip hop fan, go ahead, please say a prayer for DMX. Throw some X's up in the chat as well. Throw an X up in there. Let them know you guys are thinking about it. And you know what? Let me go join the chat as well. Let me go join the chat. Hold on, y'all. Let me go join the chat. Let me throw an X up in the chat as well. Give me a second, y'all. I gotta put an X in there for my man X. Put an X in there for my boy DMX. So yeah. So throw an X up in there for DMX. Let's pray for him. We got some news, some updates on that. And we're also going to tackle today, we're going to talk a little bit about drug addiction and hip hop. Why is it tied together? We're going to go through that today as well. All right. Let me hit the chat before we get started. Again, thank you, Diamond for joining. Diamond says, I'm fair today. How are you? We're doing well. Yes, sir. Nice coffee. I'm about to make an English muffin breakfast sandwich with coffee brewed. Ooh, Diamond is going in tonight. English breakfast. Wait. It's 8 p.m. and you're having an English breakfast muffin? Okay, 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 with coffee brewed. Okay, all right. I see you over there. Do your thing. So, um, just a few days ago, Big Pun's sister did an interview. I don't want to say the name of the podcast or the show, wherever she was on. She was on a show. She did an interview, and they were asking the questions and stuff. And she mentioned something. She mentioned that Big Pun's wife at the time gave her a call. She was somewhere. I think she said she was on a beach or something. She called her, and she answered the phone. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? And Big Pun's wife was a little bit hysterical. It sounded like she was crying. She was like, what's the matter? What's going on? So she states that Big Pun's wife admitted to her that she had a she had an affair with Big Pun's brother. So from what she's saying, this happened in 1998. This was in 1998, and when she was admitting to what she did, there was a voice in the background that she could hear, and it sounded like it was the brother in the background telling her to tell her what's going on, let her know what's going on. So again, Big Pun's sister claims to say that Big Pun's wife was cheating on him with Big Pun's brother. Now, this is Big Pun's brother from his father's side. And as far as how reports and stuff go, Big Pun and him, they weren't too keen of each other. So um, that's kind of the story of where that lands. I want to ask you guys, this is back in 1998, right? And there's been a whole lot of stuff come out about Pun and his family, alleged abuse and beatings and stuff like that over the years since Pun, when Pun was here and then when Pun passed, a lot of stuff came out. There's a lot of bad blood between Joe and her and their family going on till to this day. We're in 2021 now. Do you guys think that this is something that should not have come out? I mean, it is 20 about 23 years later. It's about 23 years later. Pun is already gone. Pun has been gone for over 20 years now. Should this kind of information still be released? Should Big Pun's sister be bringing up this type of stuff now, this far into Pun's being passed? Is this a good thing to bring up where it highlights um, um, infidelity or something that Pun's wife probably never told the public? Maybe it brings up it's maybe I don't know. I just think that it's been so long that Pun has been gone. Why bring up these things at this point? This is the question I want to ask you guys. Do you guys think that this kind of information should come out at this time? Should we just leave that stuff alone, let that go? Or is this some of the reasons why Fat Joe does not like to be around her and the family? You guys hit the chat. Let me know how you guys feel about that. Diamond Alex is in the chat. Diamond Alex says, Big Pun being Edat, he was in the limelight. I bet he did some unannounced sleeping around too. Um, you know, one of the things about entertainers, especially rappers, there's tons of stories about rappers that messed around when they were away from their wives. I don't want to call any names, but there are tons of rappers today that now when you interview them and you interview their wives will tell you, hey, look, yeah, I knew he was out there sleeping around when he's on tour. I knew he was doing this. I think the Brat even released a story where she was messing with Allen Iverson, and she took a flight. She took a flight to the city where he was, to the hotel where he was, and bust into his room, and he had a bunch, and she had to beat up a bunch of girls. So what I'm saying is, a lot of hip hop artists, wives, some of them knew about their husbands going on tour and doing these things. And then a lot of rappers put this in their music also. If you listen to any of Noriega's albums, you listen to Fat Joe, you listen to Big Pun's albums, they have a lot of that stuff in their albums anyway. So do these men cheat when they're out there? Yeah. So I'm gonna go back to Dominic's comment. Big Pun being he was in the limelight. I bet he did some announced sleeping around too. I don't want to speak on the dead, but listen to Pun's music, listen to Fat Joe's music, listen to Noriega's music. They were guys that used to be close to each other. So listen to the music, and you will hear certain things in their music that will answer that question. Dominic said, "I ate breakfast throughout the day. I love breakfast food at any time." Okay, that goes back to your muffin. Okay, all right. Is that a blueberry muffin or a cranberry muffin? Drop it in the comment. Let me know what kind of muffin that is. Um, DMX, blessings to your soul. So yes, so let's talk about some DMX stuff as well. Now, this is very uncomfortable to talk about for me because I followed DMX's music since his first album came out. Okay, I'm a big DMX fan. I have maybe all of DMX's albums. Okay, DMX's albums came out. I ran to Jamaica Avenue to go purchase DMX's albums. I've run DMX's albums back to forth, back to forth, back to forth. Um, DMX has been on a lot of amazing tracks outside of his albums, DJ Clues and stuff. DMX is an amazing artist. One of the things I've always seen with X throughout his life is that X did struggle with drug use. And again, in his music throughout the years, if you listen to X's music, you will notice he says some of that stuff in his music. He's done interviews over his career where he addresses this stuff. We've seen X in the limelight do things, get in trouble, get locked up, come out, stuff like that. Okay, so um, his drug use is well known. What I wanna address is hip hop promotes a lot of drug use. Okay, hip hop promotes a lot of drug use. Going back, going back into the '90s, going into the 2000s, and especially when I think around the time when Wayne started to blow, when Wayne really started to blow up, there was that double cup era where I think like when the syrup era started, and we all know before that there were a lot of drug use, marijuana use, alcohol, all that other stuff. But there was a time when going into the 2000s, pills, Percocets, Molly's, syrup, and it just felt like there was a time when like rappers were really, really pushing drug use in their music. And we all know that everybody listens to music. Young, middle aged, older people listen to music. And if you look at music today, a lot of the youth listens to a lot of music. And that music influences them. Whether it influenced them in the way they dress, the way they talk, the things that they do in their social lives. That stuff, even though you want to say, I can listen to music all my life and I won't get addicted to drugs, there are people out there that listen to music listen to these artists and think that's cool and start drinking because their favorite artist was drinking. I can tell you when I was younger and Snoop Dogg did the Gin and Juice. When Snoop Dogg's album came out and Gin and Juice dropped, I actually went out and tried Seagram's Gin for the first time. Not Seagram's Gin, I'm sorry. Tanqueray. I went out and tried Tanqueray for the first time. And that was a direct coalition of seeing Snoop Dogg talking about gin and juice, talking about Tanqueray got me messed up. I actually did go out and try Tanqueray and juice. Is it the artist's duty? Is it hip hop artist's duty? Is it the hip hop artist's duty as an artist, as somebody that's in the limelight, that people are buying their music, people are listening to them all the time, people are following them, people are just getting influenced by them? Is it their duty to portray positivity in the limelight? You can say what you want. You can say what you want. Whether you agree with it, whether you don't agree with it. Okay? Celebrities influence people in this world. It's just how it is. Whether it's good or whether it's in a different way. When I listen to an artist like Rhapsody, shout out to Rhapsody. When I listen to an artist like Rhapsody talk her music, I see a young lady that has bars. Number one, Rhapsody has bars. Rhapsody is very skillful as an artist. But one of the things I like about Rhapsody is that she doesn't compromise selling her music for quote unquote selling your soul. This is why I like artists like a Raw Digger, like a Eve, like a Queen Latifah. You can still like a Lauryn Hill. You can still be an amazing artist. You can still have your bars. Yes, there's that other level you can reach if you take your clothes off and you dress half naked and you twerk in your videos. Yes, there's another level you can reach, but there are some ladies in hip hop that never compromise themselves that way. And that compromise sometimes affects a lot of people. I want to say the younger generation. So, do they have a duty when it comes to what they say in their music, what they portray in their videos for the people that are watching their material? Let me hit the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Good night to everybody. Hope everybody's doing good tonight. Thursday night. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. We got brand new music dropping tomorrow, y'all. So stay tuned. New music is dropping tomorrow. We got a new artist dropping tomorrow. Y'all keep an eye out for that. Don't forget, we're talking about Big Pun's wife. Did she cheat on him? Sending out some prayers. You guys put an X in the chat for DMX tonight. Redman, Method Man is on April 20th. And Isley Brothers, man, let's talk about it. Let's go back to the chat for a second. Diamond Onyx says, Thomas English banana muffins. Woo! Diamond Onyx is over there chefing it up, y'all. She over there chefing it up with the muffin banana. Ooh, that's what's up. I'm drinking iced coffee today, y'all. I'm scared my daughter Jayla is gonna yell at me. So I've been drinking water and other stuff. No alcohol for me lately, y'all. I gotta cut off the alcohol when I do my shows. I don't want my daughter to yell at me. So coffee, iced coffee, y'all. This is iced coffee. Iced coffee. We got Jay Boogie in the building. Hey, Jayla's here. Um, Diamond Onyx says peer pressure. Yes, peer pressure is a real thing. Jay Boogie says They then post kids stay in school and be good and stuff. Tell their daughters never let a man call you this. Don't even talk like this. And sons never call a woman this. It's BS. Okay, I can agree with that. Simple Plus is here. Simple Plus, thank you for joining the stream. Simple Plus says, right back at you. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, y'all. Dominic says, DMX, may your soul relax in peace. Sleep forever, no more world problems. Wait, um, is there something you guys are trying to tell me? Last I saw earlier today, that I saw news that Lisa Everts was talking that where is it? I had it on my phone somewhere. The last thing I saw, Jason posted something earlier today as well. Uh, TMZ reported DMX brain function unchanged. Family faces hard decision. That's the last thing I saw today in the news. Is there any change? Let me see. Let me just hit the news real quick. So far, I don't see any change in there. It says he's not looking good. So yeah, prayers out to DMX. Simple Plus says drink champs tree. Thank you for the shout. Thank you for the shout. So yes, um, let's hit some Redman Method Man numbers here, yo. So Redman Method Man is gonna do their verses on the 20th. Okay, so you guys let me know who you think is gonna win that Redman and Method Man verses. And did you guys get a chance to see the Isley Brothers versus Earth, Wind, and Fire verses? Oh my gosh. Woo! That was an amazing verses. That was an amazing verses. Let me hit the chat one more time. Let me go put an X. Let me put an X in there for DMX, y'all. Throw an X up in the chat for DMX, y'all. Let them know y'all thinking about him. Um, Simple Plus. Oh, Simple Plus is rich. Oh snap! Yeah, what kind of name is Simple Plus, bro? Oh, my brother Rich is here. Rich, what up? All right, yeah, change that name, man. This guy be killing me with his names, yo. All right, man. So today we're talking about Big Pun's wife. Did Big Pun's wife cheat on him? The question we asking you guys is, do you think this is relevant to put this information out now? Should Big Pun's sister be releasing this type of information 20 something years after Pun has passed? Does this tie in to Fat Joe not wanting to go to Big Pun's street naming a few weeks ago? Remember, Fat Joe said he don't want to be close to those people. He didn't want to go there to be there that day for the street opening of Big Pun Street. Does this tie into it? Does Fat Joe know about that, or is that something why he's holding whatever he's holding against them? Drop it in the comments. Allegedly, Pun did put his hands on his wife as well back in that time. Is that why she did what she did? Cheating with somebody's brother is never a good thing. I'm not endorsing cheating, people. I'm not endorsing cheating here. But if you're gonna step out on your husband, or you're gonna step out on your wife, or step out on your significant other, a family member. mm, mm. So allegedly, she stepped out on Pun with Pun's brother, which is the brother from Pun's father's side. Okay, she just released this information just a few days ago. We're gonna touch on the DMX again. Okay, so before we move on, I'm gonna give you guys the album of the week. Album of the week this week is Def Jam Survival of the Illest tour. If you don't have this album, this is if you're into tours, if you're into concerts, this is one of the most amazing digital concerts you can listen to. Okay, this was called the Survival of the Illest tour. They toured all over the country, and this is when they came back. They came back to New York, and they went to the Apollo. This show was held in the Apollo, and DMX was the headliner for this show. Okay, this was at the time when X was at the top. Rough Riders was at the top of their game when this tour. Okay, Def Squad, Redman, Method Man, Onyx, Foxy Brown, Cole Mega. If you've never heard this, go on Tidal. Tidal has the album on Tidal. You can hear it on Tidal. This is one of the most amazing tours, one of the most amazing concert albums you will ever hear. Live show. And at this time, DMX was the headline. Okay, Keith Murray is on there. So I had to break this out this week, and I've been bumping this all day, every day for the last few days. Def Jam, Survival of the Illest tour. If you've never heard this album, go on Tidal. Tidal has the album. You can listen to it. It's a live concert here in New York City at the Apollo Theater. All right. Don't forget, when you join the chat today, put an X up in the chat. Pray for DMX. We're talking today about drug addiction in hip hop. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day about weed, marijuana, and me and my friends, we always joke back and forth about weed use and marijuana use. And I have a lot of friends on one side of the fence that tells me that marijuana is from the earth. It's a herb. It's natural. It comes from the earth. But what I want to remind people is that when marijuana, back when I was when I was younger, in the 80s, 90s, marijuana was mostly grown out in the fields, out in the field, out in the bush, out in the jungle somewhere, where it was natural soil. Natural soil, no fertilizers, none of that stuff. Natural sunlight, natural rain. You grow the herb, you smoke the herb, whatever. Nowadays, when you look at marijuana, a lot of marijuana is grown indoors. Okay, so think about this, right? If you have something that's grown outside in its natural habitat, in natural soil, natural sunlight, rain, real rainfall, and something is growing, opposed to something that's growing in a basement with a bulb that's giving it unnatural light, with soil that is being put in those pots. You don't know where they're getting the soil from. You don't know what they're putting in the soil. They have to wet the plants somehow. You don't know what they're putting in the water to wet the plants. In some instances, they might even have to spray the plants, spray them. You don't know what they're putting in the spray. Even if the spray is sprayed on the plants, it's still going down in the soil. The roots are sucking it up, putting it into the marijuana that they're growing indoors. Snoop Dogg has been a very big advocate for weed smoking since I've known Snoop. And over the years, I think Snoop Dogg is one of the first artists that I've seen that really smokes weed like that. Before Snoop Dogg, I can't think if I can remember. I know Bob Marley smoked a lot. I always saw Bob Marley smoking. But when it comes to hip hop, I can't really think of another artist that really smoked on the level that Snoop Dogg smoked. If you remember back in the days, alcohol was outlawed. Alcohol was illegal. The government got their hands on alcohol. They wanted a piece of the pie. They legalized alcohol. Now they get a cut out of alcohol. Weed used to be illegal. It's still illegal in some states, but most states now it's legal, and the government's getting a piece of it. Should artists still should artists still be doing? Should I call weed a drug? It's people will follow Snoop Dogg and smoke weed. People will follow Wiz Khalifa and smoke weed. When when someone drinks alcohol once a week, you might say that person controls their habit. They can drink, they can stop. If someone smokes weed once a week, you might say they can control their habit, they can stop. What about the person that's drinking alcohol every single day of the week? Do we call him an alcoholic? Do we say he's not in control of his actions anymore? Is he addicted? Can he stop drinking alcohol every single day of the week? People frown on people that drink alcohol every single day. There are people that smoke weed multiple times a day, every single day. Is that an addiction? If you're drinking alcohol every single day of the week, you're getting high and you're in a different space. You got to come down sometime. Sometime once you have to stop drinking and come back to a normal level, right? If someone is smoking weed every single day, is that an addiction? How can they focus like that all the time? What's going to happen when they come down and don't smoke for a week? Do you think that affects them? Drug addiction in hip hop, it's on many different levels. Many different levels. A lot of artists promote pills using. I remember there was a lyric that Rick Ross used one time. She got drunk and then she didn't even know it. I put something in her cup and she didn't even know it. It's Lil Wayne still walks around with his double cups drinking his syrup. Wiz Khalifa and Snoop still puff up past every single day. Drug use is rampant in hip hop. But look at the state of hip hop today. Look at the state of hip hop today. Look how many artists are getting locked up. Look how many artists are getting in fights. Look how many artists are getting in shootouts. Look how many artists are doing stupid stuff and getting locked up, going to jail, or losing their lives. If these artists were not high all the time on something, excuse me, if these artists were not high on something, I'm not naming anything, you can choose it. Choose whatever the high you think they're on. Perks, weed, alcohol, pills, whatever high you want to think they're on. If these artists are not on that at all, or in on a level state of mind on a daily basis, do you think they'll still be in these kind of situations that we get in today? If artists aren't drunk in the club, drinking Moet and smoking and taking pills, and then when they walk outside and somebody bumped them and they pull out their gun and they start shooting each other, if these artists are level-minded and somebody bumps you, do you think that they will have a different reaction? I know sometimes we say, I can handle that drug, I can handle my high, that doesn't bother me. But what if these artists are level-minded, level-headed, going and coming in their life on a daily basis? Would it be any different? Back in the 60s and 70s, when when if you go back and look at the movie Paid in Full, where crack was neighborhoods, destroying neighborhoods, but artists were still pumping it in their neighborhoods. In the 90s, there were artists that were in the hip hop, making music and leaving hip hop music and going back to pumping that stuff in their neighborhoods. Hip hop and drug abuse, can that marriage stop? A guy like DMX, that's and I don't want to I really don't want to speak about this. That's been in the situation that he's been up and down in his life all the time. How do you tell somebody like that not to do something? How do you tell somebody that you try for years and years and years and years to help them? You see them going down the rabbit hole and you try to pull them out and they go right back into that rabbit hole. You call them, you give them the pep talk, you give them the speech. Yeah, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I'm sorry. Yeah, nah, you're right, you're right, you're right. And then they turn around and they do it right over again. How do you help someone that doesn't want to be helped? And I'm not talking about ecstasy. I'm just talking about drug use and people that use drugs. That there are people, family members, friends, people that try to step in, but sometimes these people they want that. They want that high. They want their daily life to be like that, to be in that space, to be wherever they're at. But how can they come down? Can they come down from that? If they do come down from that, are they going to be able to live a day, a week, a month level? Redman, Method Man, man, coming up 420, yo. New verses coming up 420. Redman, Method Man. Let me know who you guys think is going to win that versus, y'all. Drop an X, y'all. Drop an X. Drop an X in the chat, man, for DMX. Drop an X for the X Man. I'm gonna drop a few X's right now. Drop an X in the chat for DMX. Prayers. DMX changed. DMX DMX has affected my life. I like I said, I have almost all of DMX's albums, and DMX is one of those guys that used to pray after his albums. He used to pray during the album too, and then sometimes at the end of the album he had to pray at the end of the album too. So if DMX can pray for his fans and people that listen to his music, you guys should be able to just put up an X or say a prayer, say a silent prayer. However you guys pray, however you guys do it. Some of y'all may not be, whatever the word is. Some of you may not be spiritual. However you do it, show some love to X. I'm gonna hit the chat, y'all. I've been talking a lot. My bad. My bad. Let me hit the chat for a second, y'all. Um, all right. I'm gonna go back to my man Rich. Rich is in the building. Jay Boogie says yes. Mr. Biggs and his beard cute. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Leave Mr. Biggs alone, man. Mr. Biggs. Yo, shout out to Mr. Biggs, man. That was an amazing verses. Uh, Rich says, "Hell no, that's family and house business." Okay. Dominic said, "What did Pun's wife say on the show?" So yeah, so Dominic's Pun's wife, not Pun's wife, Pun's sister, Pun's sister went on the show, and they were just asking the questions, and she gave the information that back in 1998, Pun's wife called her while I think she was on vacation. Pun's wife called her and admitted to cheating on Pun, and the man that she cheated with was Pun's brother from Pun's father's side. And as far as what she's saying, this happened in 1998, and she never told Pun. She said Pun found out, but she did not want to tell Pun because she thought Pun may have done something to his brother if he found out, if she had told him and found out. So Pun's sister put that information out, I think about 2 days ago, and she said Pun's wife admitted to that. But again, she said later on, Pun found out about it anyway. Um, Nicholas McFarlane is in the building. Thanks for joining the stream, Nicholas. Uh, Rich says, "Hell, that's in family." Okay. So Dominic says, "By the way, Method Man for the win." Dominic is going with Method Man. Okay, Method Man versus Red. Dominic's got meth. All right, all right. Rich. They all did. Yeah, yeah. Rich is old school. Rich is old school. Rich saw those albums. Rich listened to all those albums back in the days. Like I said, I don't want to say who cheated or who didn't cheat. All you gotta do is go listen to these albums. Listen to Nori's albums. Listen to Punch. Listen to Fat Joe's. Those are three guys that are very close. They had a little circle. Go listen to their albums. You will see for yourself on there. Thank you for that, Rich. Diamond says, "I want to know how herb can stay in your system more days than the harsher drugs, coke." Well, here's the thing, Diamond. And again, I don't like speaking on things if I haven't experienced things. Okay, so I've never done any hard drugs in my life. I've never smoked weed. I've never did any kind of pills. I've never did syrup and stuff like none of that stuff. Only thing I've ever did in my life is alcohol. Okay, so I cannot talk 100% on weed, perks, and all those other Xannies. I cannot speak for that because I've never done that stuff in my life. However, I've seen people on those different things, and I've seen how it changes them from before, during, and after. Okay, so I can't tell you how long it stays in someone's system, but if a person is drinking alcohol every single day of the week, if someone's drinking alcohol every single day of the week, there's a certain amount of time something goes you intake into your body and your body flushes it out. Okay, so I don't know what time it is, but I'm just saying when you intake something in your body that's not natural, it takes a certain time to go through your body. So if someone is smoking weed every day, weed affects you. When you light weed, it does something. It activates. So it affects you. Okay, so when you have weed in your system every single day, I'm not saying it has the same effects as pills or it has the same effect as alcohol. Of course, it's going to have different effects. But if it's in your system every single day of the week, it has to have a time when it has to flush it out of your system. But if you're constantly intaking it, when does it get flushed out? So if someone has a substance in their body 7 days a week, they're not functioning regularly because that system is in their body still. They have to stop taking whatever they're taking. The body has to flush it out, and then they get back to their normal levels. Whatever drug they're taking, whatever drug the person's taking, alcohol, whatever drug they're taking, you have to let your body clear it out, and then you come back to your normal levels. So if someone is smoking every day and you're not even smoking natural weed, number one, you don't know what's going to put in that weed. It has to affect you. It has to. It has to affect your motor skills. It has to affect your movement. It has to affect it. It affects you. So, okay. All right. Nicholas says Redman close win versus against Method Man. Whoa, we got a Redman. We got a Redman from Nicholas. Diamond is going with Method Man. Okay, okay. I haven't chosen yet, yo. Don't ask me. I haven't chosen yet. I can't make a decision, man. I may not make a decision on this one, y'all. I like Redman. I like Method Man. I don't know if I can choose on this one, y'all. I haven't made a decision yet, y'all. Rich says alcohol is a drug. Yes, alcohol is a drug, Rich. Yes, 100%. Diamondonics, it stimulates you. Herb does. It makes someone feel a high, but paranoid mood would be a drug use of any kind, of another kind. I've seen people smoke weed and get paranoid. I've seen people smoke weed and fall asleep. I've seen people smoke weed and think they just had Hennessy and they get stronger. I've seen many different effects of people smoking weed and it affects them different ways. So paranoia, I've seen people smoke weed and get paranoid. Yeah, don't know where they're at. Itchy, like, yo, what's it? Yeah, yeah. Diamond says you can abuse almost anything if you use a substance moderately. Uh, it could work for some people. Okay, yep, yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Diamond says X was allegedly tricked in becoming a user. Yeah, so I saw the story. I saw that story when X they did an interview with X, and he says his mentor, the guy he looked up to, his mentor passed him the blunt. Excuse me, and it was laced with something else, and that was his introduction to harder drugs. So yeah, I saw that story with X, and that's sad, man. JB is in the building. JB, thanks for joining the stream. JB says, let me go back to JB's comment. Hold up. JB says, drug addiction is a sickness. Some people have demons that drugs help them escape. Let's touch on that for a second. Thank you for that comment, JB. Let's touch on that for a second, y'all. By the way, I'm drinking coffee. If my daughter see me drinking anything else than coffee, I might get in trouble, y'all. So I'm drinking coffee today, iced coffee. There's nothing in there, y'all. Don't tell her I was drinking anything. This is iced coffee, y'all. So JB says drug addiction is a sickness. Some people have demons that drugs help them escape. So here's the thing about that. That we were just talking about living living your life as a on your regular. You're taking a high to escape certain things. You're taking a high to, as you say, help you escape. If you're constantly taking that drug to constantly help you escape, you're in a different state. And if you're doing this multiple times per day, multiple times per week, all month, that means that you're in a different state all that time. When do you come down? If someone is smoking or drinking alcohol every day or taking pills every day, when do you come back down to your normal state? When does your body when does your body flush out those toxins and come back to feeling natural? When do you feel like you could punch a wall and not feel pain anymore? When do you come back to a normal state? When do you, if you're high and you fall and there's so much stuff in you, you don't feel it, you don't feel the cut, you don't know you're bleeding. When do you come back to a normal state? There are people that are in that level all the time. Isn't that a mental disease to be away from your normal state all the time? When do you come down? How do you come down? What happens when you come down? Can you function when you come back down? Or do you need to go back up in that state? Do you need to take that injection one more time and go back up again? Do you need to get that bottle and stay in that state all the time? When do we get back to music that promotes health? When do we get back to living on self-destruction? When do we get back to positive music? When do we get back to artists making songs trying to uplift the people? When do we get back to songs talking about Africa? When do we get back to songs about building homes and seeing our kids ride bicycles down the street together? When do we get back to that? You look at the state of hip hop right now. You look at the state of hip hop right now. Oof, man, oh man. Man, oh man. Thank you for that comment, JB. Diamond Onyx says, bless your soul, X. That's right. Oh, Rich is going with Method Man? What? Yo, my man Rich. So that's Diamond's going with Method Man. Rich is going with Method Man. Yo, hold up. Oh, Jason's in the building. Jason said, Jason, thanks for joining the stream. Jason says DMX forever. That's right. Tony Parks is in the building. Tony Parks, thanks for joining the stream. Don't forget, y'all drop an X for DMX. And don't forget, this week, album of the week this week, we're showing some respect to DMX. This album is called Survival of the Illest. This is the Survival of the Illest tour. This was a tour that Def Jam did back in 1998, I think. And they toured the whole country. And this was when they came back to New York. They came back to New York and they had the show in the Apollo Theater. So this show was in the Apollo Theater. If you want to listen to this album, you can go on Tidal. Tidal has the album on Tidal available. So if you have Tidal, go on Tidal. This is a live show. Foxy Brown's on there, Cole Mega's on there, Onyx is on there, Def Squad is on there, Keith Murray is on there, Redman, Method Man. This is when Def Jam was at their height. And DMX was the headline of this show. If you watch the credits at the bottom, that's DMX, all DMX's tracks. All the way DMX closes out, and you can see he has a poem at the end. So DMX highlights this tour. So if you want to listen to this, go to Tidal. You can find this album on there. This is amazing. This is one of the most amazing live shows you can listen to. You can hear the crowd. The crowd is into it. The crowd knows all the lyrics. Oh man, one of my favorite albums, yo. So yeah, so Rich is going with Method Man. Tony Parks is here. Jason's here. JB is here. JB is putting up the prayers. Thank you very much. Jason said, I got Redman. Yes, I'm biased because I'm from Brick City. Yo, Jason's always going with Jersey, man. Anything Jersey, y'all don't even ask Jason, yo. Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill, if anything Jersey, don't even ask Jason, man. Jason is the most biased dude when it comes to Jersey, yo. Shout out to Jersey, man. But yeah, I can't choose yet, man. I can't choose yet, y'all. I like Redman. Red, my man. I like Method Man. Method Man, my man. I can't choose. I really can't choose. Shout out to the Isley Brothers. Shout out to the Isley Brothers for having an amazing verses. They had non-stop hits. The performances, they got up and they were getting it in. That guitar player, ooh, whew. These men were well dressed. Shout out to Earth, Wind and Fire. Shout out to the Isley Brothers, man. You guys showed out with them dress. Yo, the dress code was, oh, man. This is music. Classics. No twerking, no cursing, no bouginess. That was almost 3 hours of classic music. Shout out, man. Listen, Swizz, Timbaland, I gotta give it to y'all. I gotta say this. Ever since you guys went over to Thriller versus, I'm not saying anything bad about versus before, you know. Ever since you guys switched over to Thriller, you guys have been knocking it out the park, Swizz, Timbaland. Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all deserve some props for this. I like the setup now. You guys are giving us a schedule. We know what's coming. We just got 2 verses back to back. We got 3 back to back to back. SWV is coming up. Method Man, Redman's coming up. We got other stuff. You guys are knocking it out the park. Shout out Timberland. Shout out Swizz. You guys keep it going. The artists are on time now. Yeah, wait, let me give you guys some stats. Hold up. Let me give you guys some stats from Earth, Wind, and Fire. This is the Earth, Wind, and Fire stats. If you didn't watch, I'm gonna give you all some stats. All right. So the show is supposed to start at 8 o'clock. All right. 8 o'clock. DJ Nice is already there. D Nice. DJ D Nice is already there, cooking up the beats, getting everybody ready. Again, you're sitting there, you're thinking, am I going to sit here for a half hour? Am I going to sit here for an hour with the DJ playing? No. 8:11, 11 minutes after 8, Steve Harvey comes on and starts his introduction. Shout out to Verzuz for being on time. I know some people ain't talking about it, but prior to Thriller, we were waiting half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour plus before these artists started their verses. So shout out to the new verses. 8:11, Steve Harvey was there. All right? Throwing shots at auto tune. Great intro, Steve Harvey. Numbers wise, by 8:23, 23 minutes into the verses, we were at 350,000 people in Instagram. Again, I'm not counting the numbers from Thriller. I still can't find out how to get their numbers. I don't know how their viewership, but I watched on Thriller on my TV and I watched on Instagram on my phone. So in Instagram, there were over 350,000 people 23 minutes in. Big numbers. 8:45, there were 405,000 people in there, so almost half a million. And they kind of hovered around that throughout the night. So throughout the night, they kind of hovered in that half a million. So Instagram got good numbers. Again, I don't know how to get the Thriller numbers. I hope Swizz and Tim will start putting those numbers out so we can see. Because remember, it used to be on Apple TV and on YouTube. It's still on YouTube. You can still watch it on YouTube. YouTube do a lot of numbers too. But I want to see how Thriller's numbers along with the Instagram numbers look, and then we can give you a better view of that. But shout out to the new verses, man. You guys are knocking it out the park. Loving it. We're almost at the hour mark, y'all. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream tonight. I'm gonna go back in the chat. I'm gonna drop 2 more X's from my man X. Like I said, Jason put up some stuff earlier from TMZ. TMZ put a report out that the family has some decisions to make. So it's looking like it's not looking good right now. So I hope something can happen these next few days where X can pull through. And we as a people, we have to really take a look at ourselves, because if we look back in the last 10 years, we lost Whitney Houston. We lost Whitney Houston to a drug overdose. Whitney Houston's daughter died from a drug overdose. Bobby Brown's son died from a drug overdose. Michael Jackson died from a drug overdose. Prince died from a drug overdose. There's other hip hop artists. I'm just naming some of the bigger names that I can think of. And those are big names. DMX is a big name. DMX has been making music since the early 90s, y'all. And this is 2021. DMX had an album coming out soon. Him and Swizz are working on an album right now to come out. So we've been getting music from DMX since the early 90s. He's been dropping bangers on us, giving us great music. DMX is an icon. Say what you want if you may not like his music, if you think his music was a little raunchy, you think his music was a little wild and crazy. DMX touched a lot of people here in the United States and all over the world. And we have to look back and it's like your parents will tell you you have to know your past to know where you're going. We've seen our past. Every single year we see our past. We see what drugs is doing to us, y'all. We've seen it year after year after year after year. We've been losing icons from drug overdose, from trying to, as JB said earlier in the chat, trying to get away. I remember when Prince passed away, there was a report that Prince's house didn't have any windows. The house where he had his studio, think about this for a second. The house where Prince had his studios, he did not have any windows because he didn't want to know what time of day it was. He just wanted to make music. He just wanted to be up making music. That's crazy. What kind of mind state? What kind of mind state could have somebody thinking, I'm gonna be in a room. I'm gonna be in a room hour after hour after hour after hour after day, and I don't know what time of day it is. I have not seen the sunlight. I'm living like that. How are you living like that? On one end, you have to let adults live their life. You have to let adults make adult decisions, what makes them happy. But on the other end, sometimes you have to intervene and say something. If you see something going on that may not look natural, may not sound natural, may not be natural, if you're a friend, if you call yourself a friend or you call yourself a family member, you have the right to say something. And I don't know, I can't talk for anyone that's around X to say if anyone said anything or anyone tried to help him. Or I'm not in X's inner circle. I can't call that. I know I've seen Swiss Beats always talking about X. Swiss Beats always talks about trying to help his brother. Swiss Beats always talks about him. All of these years, I've seen Swiss Beats working and talking with him. But if you know somebody that's living a life where they're abusing, we know what abuse of drugs looks like, people. We know what abuse of drugs looks like. If you know somebody that's you consider a friend, a family member, you owe it to that person to say something. Even if they push you away, even if they push you away and tell you, I got this under control, don't worry about me, it's only once, I'm not going to do it again. Even if they give you the wildest story in the world, say something, even if it's once, even if it's once. I'm going to hit the chat one more time before I get up out of here. I see Jay Boogie has a comment. Jay Boogie says, but these icons chose their path. I'm not saying I don't 100% feel bad, but 50% I don't because they knew what they were doing. It's not like they were uneducated and didn't know. That's a very good point. Jayla also says, like a cigarette smoker, they know smoking leads to lung cancer and still decides to do so. So we could feel bad for them, honestly, question mark. Okay. Diamond Alex says, DMX, roof. Yep, shout out to DMX. Diamond Alex says, versus minus Harvey talk time was phenomenal. Yeah, man. Steve Harvey did talk a lot on that versus, man. We got Cameo 718 in the building. Cameo, thanks for joining the stream. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining the stream, Cameo. Um, Rich took back his message. What's Rich doing? What do you take back your message for? Diamond Onyx says, bless up to your family, fans, and his children. My dog, that's right. Jayla said, don't make me come over and check the glass. Yo, man, y'all play too much, man. All right, man, it's past the 1 hour mark. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream tonight. I know tonight's stream was a little bit preachy, but we're going through a time where we're we're on the brink of maybe losing another icon in the music industry to I don't want to say drug abuse because I don't know if that's true. If because I've seen word where they said he contracted COVID. So, but we're on the brink of. I hope that we don't lose another icon. So we have to start being retroactive where we just don't have to go through this anymore. If you know someone that has issues, has problems, is abusing something, you owe it to yourself to tell that person, have a talk with that person. If it's only once, if it's only once, have that talk with that person. If you consider yourself a friend or a family member, it's your boy Onslaught Tree. Thank you all for joining. I'll see you guys next Thursday night, y'all.